Yeah, I mean, you even see it on some of the more talk show type places where they get people to call in, and they said, "Well, explain your point." No, explain it. No, that doesn't count. Explain it. Explain it. And then they act like they're trying to give them a chance, but they keep cutting them off and not letting them have their full explanation, not accepting it and allowing them to do it. I mean, a number of topics are actually more complex than, well, this is how I demonstrate this. It's right. Well, if we understand this, then we go on to this, and we'd have this long discussion about all these different factors that make up. This is why my view is. I was watching one earlier where Matt was just cutting off this guy called Derek, and I don't think this guy Derek was necessarily explaining himself particularly well. He seemed it seemed like he'd had a big smoke before he was trying to have the conversation, like he really knew what he was talking about, but it was just back there, man.
Yeah, I can relate to that sometimes.
And but he wasn't being given the chance to fully explain, and Matt was jumping on to things that he was saying, well, you've said this, so it means this. It's like, no, I'm saying you could compare it to that, but what I'm trying to explain is the whole part of this. Well, no, you haven't demonstrated it. Like, okay, well, I'm trying to explain it to you, but you keep cutting me off. Well, no, you know what? Keep complaining, and he hangs up on him. I mean, that's a really short version of it. Probably bastardized it, but you could still see then. And this is one of the problems I think that we atheists actually have is in the wake of Christopher Hitchens, who, whilst I didn't necessarily always agree with his methodology, he did have some dry cutting wit that cut through a hell of a lot of bullshit and went bam. And then people tried to follow in his footsteps, and you see a lot of these talk shows and other, for want of a better term, king atheists they try and do the same sort of thing, but they do it in an even more aggressive way because they're trying to one up and be the next one that's even better than before. And I find that they're being just I can't even think of the word to do it, but they're so angry and defensive and everything that no conversation happens. I mean, think about the number of times Aaron Ra has had what faith actually means explained to him by people who know, and from the evolution of the Greek word pistis and etc. And he goes back and he has the same thing. No, you're wrong. Other theists say it's this. It's okay. Well, I'm a theist. I'm in academia. I'm not. I'm talking about this particular person. And this is what faith actually means, and this is how we use it. I mean, if you go back to the Greek writing within the Bible, pistis is the word that's used for faith. And go back further than that, it was the god of goodwill and hope or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. And still he won't accept this different use. It's only his use because this particular use is better for his arguments, and he'll
Yeah.
shout down anyone that tries to tell him differently. Another one that he did as well, I mean, he said to a completely ridiculous thing to Steve, was that if he was to accept that lacktheism wasn't atheism and was actually non-theism, it would invalidate his life's work. Which I think is fucking crazy. If you think that changing your belief on a topic, on about a definition, it's a semantic argument, would ruin your entire life's work. I mean, he's done a hell of a lot of good work, trying to keep creationism out of schools. His science
The
commentary that
science.
he does is fucking great. The only thing that he does poorly is his philosophical conversations, and some of his theological ones that don't revolve around science, like the faith one that I was speaking about a second ago. And it's just ridiculous that he feels that. I mean, all he would have to do was, instead of saying all non-theists are atheists, just focus on non-theists. There you go.
Yeah.
I think non-theists would agree with me on this. We want to keep, school and government secular. I think your average non-theist would agree with that. I think even some theists would agree that they want that separation. So the fact that he thinks that that would invalidate his life's work is just absolutely crazy. But it shows how, entrenched people can get in particular views and how they feel like they have to defend every position. So they attack everyone. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And they don't take the time to listen. And
I'm wondering if by invalidating his life's work, he means getting rid of a lot of the fans that he's built up over the years.
oh, there could be a deeper meaning to it like that. I mean, yeah, imagine all the people, all the lactheists who he would say, well, actually, I understand that this is actually the more sound definition. Many of us use this colloquial definition of atheism, but actually, if we were the smart, rational people that we claim to be, we would probably be using the more sound definition. Yeah, maybe he would lose followers for saying such a thing like that. Or do you know what? There are people who just take everything he says as, oh yeah, rocks are atheists. They just take it because he said it.
Yeah.
Maybe those people will suddenly go, oh shit, do you know what? Yeah, I can see it because Aaron Ra said it.
Yeah.